about at Fisher Poets, I like to come out as something every year, because every year we grow, and certainly this year I got another exercise in heart stretching from you guys. And I kind of love how fishermen are natural gossips. Their wives can tell you that. And their huge passion for life, our huge passion for life, we want to just tell everybody about everything. But because of finances and rivalries, we have to keep this information in our codes and share it out with a privileged few. And then we come to Fisher Poets and we all get on stage and we're like, I'm going to tell you a secret now. But I became a boss this year. And I got hit by a car a few years ago, and I've got this persistent lingering neck injury which prevents me from doing any hard labor. So I had to switch jobs, like happens to a lot of people, especially uninsured deckhands, and been a house cleaner for a year, and it's a good gig. I get paid well, and I love my clients, and took on an employee, and I just kept thinking about something, and I had gone to I want to be a good boss, you know, just like I wanted to be a good deckhand. But I feel like after all these years of fishing, it's a pretty low bar to clear. To be a good boss. So as long as I don't jump up and down screaming like a toddler at her, forbid her to eat carrots or anything else crunchy in front of me, forbid her to write, draw, play music, or sing at any time, tell her not to look so sad because she looks so pretty when she smiles. This is an amalgamated list. It's not just all my experiences. As long as I don't offer her cocaine, sleep with her, or sleep with her and then sleep with another employee without telling her, and then feel betrayed when she is angry. As long as I don't follow her around spitefully mimicking her actions and grooming myself like a monkey. I know I didn't have the only skipper that did that. As long as I don't blame her when things are bad and take credit for all the good stuff. Pencil whip her. Say, but I'm not like that when she talks about other bosses. Or my favorite, which I learned about last night. Ask her to administer an anal suppository if I were in the throes of an insulin reaction and didn't get up from my wheel lunch. I think I'm going to make it as a good boss. So as a welcome present to being a boss, and I was going to say, you know, it's kind of a call and response. So when I see those next year, you guys give me one of yours. As long as and as a welcome present to being an employee of mine, for Sweet Pea house cleaning, I know it's real nice down, isn't it? I gave her one of Clem's poems. I gave her, I don't even know what it's called, but I just call it Maloney. The Maloney poem, which is the one I'm always like, read the Maloney poem. And it's about Clem working for a guy and having to go everywhere with your boss because he's your boss, and kind of having to pretend to be their friend because they're your boss. And the job is almost over, and you're just like, yeah, I know. And I've been the deckhand, and I've been the employee, and now I'm the boss. And I had to give her the poem, and I was like, I have become Maloney. And the last line of the poem is, well, I get it wrong, Clem, I'm sorry, but you should buy Clem's work, and then you can get it correct. But the way I always remembered it is, I work for Maloney Construction. I am Maloney's right-hand man. When it rains, we work in the rain. When it snows, we work in the snow. When he laughs, I laugh too. That's pretty funny, Maloney. And the funny thing is, we drive around to our jobs, and she laughs at everything I say. And I love her for this. While I make $10 for every hour she makes. And she just, it's like a dream come true for an injured fisherman. She's just like, wow, you're so funny. You're so strong. You're so smart. And I'm just like, yeah, well, I don't know if I ever told you the one about, oh man, it's embarrassing. It is bad. Love her. she's house sitting for me right now, and she's texting me about my cats. So I was gonna make that big and involved, but that's what you get for now about how much I love climbing that poem in Maloney. She calls me Maloney when I cross the line. She's like, Maloney! But Pat came up to me last night, and if you didn't see me at the party last night, it was because of Pat. Because he came up to me last night and told me about how, oh, tomorrow we're going to do the thing where, you know, Gino's got his poem about, I don't miss the fishing, you know, I miss the fish, but I don't miss the fishing. And then Dave's got the one about, well, I never, you know, I eat burgers and chops and steaks. I don't miss the fish, but I really miss the fishing. And then, you know, Pat, the peacemaker's like, well, I miss the fish and the fishing. Can't we all just get along? And back before I got married to a fisherman, I had written this poem in my head about how I miss the fisherman. And then I married one. And he's a nice Protestant boy, which, you know, you don't have to have a poem like Pavlov's bell if you're raised Protestant, because that is happening in your head all the time. I did not know this. And so, when I say thank you, he's like, I knew I did it wrong. You know, it's just like a Protestant way. I don't get it. And I'm not talking about nicey nice American happy clappy Protestants. That's what they call them over there in the northeast of Scotland. People who play the guitar beautifully and sing those nice hymns, the happy clappies. And I mean, this is hardcore. This is where John Knox is from, where Calvin was born. And so anyway, I wrote this poem instead, and I'm hoping to make it through without turning into a big cry fest. But it's called Do I Miss the Fish? It's changed a little because I married a fisherman. I got one. Do I miss the... And then they told me, oh, we're not going to do that. So I stayed up writing this poem. I got up early, I wrote this poem. I did not go to the party, I wrote this poem. And I'm sorry if I'm going over, but you're hearing the poem. And it's named after, I thought maybe, you know, and it's Sunday and it's a prayer and Jim Todoff's song. This is called I'm a Believer.
Stop.
Skipper speaks.
He needs some help.
I'm getting Dave up here. Gino's not here. We canceled because we didn't have Gino. And we're in a hurry and all that. And I apologize, John. But you guys, you want us?
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I saw you looking at your watch.
Last year I read The Bucket, and she humiliated me up here for about 10 minutes on stage because I didn't ever use a bucket on a boat to go to the bathroom. And now she's doing it again to me. And I told her I thought I was safe this year. So, I'm up here. I've been embarrassed into it. Gino's poem, I can't even come close, but it's about missing the fish, but not the fishing. So he had that poem, and a call and response. Dave wrote this next one. And then we'll just go in order. Sorry.
I gotta tell you, the first time we did, I heard Gino do that poem about not missing the fishing, and I gotta tell you, I gave Gino his first fishing job. He wasn't any greenhorn. He'd been around the world on big ships and did all kinds of things. So we fished together for several years, a couple different boats, several different fisheries. Probably the best deckhand I ever had, and we had a lot of fun together. But so when I heard him do that poem, I kind of thought he was talking about me, so I thought I better set things right. So I wrote a rebuttal. I think the first time we did it was down at the River Theater, and I had him. He went up and did the poem, and when he was just about to hit his punchline, I went up and pushed him out of the way and set it right. This is what I gave. My first boat was bought on a handshake when I was a hotshot of 13. Oh, I have a fine one. Now there's been some beauties in between. Once blew 3 windows in Acatan Pass. They're the biggest swell I've ever seen. The water went over the house. It was pure and solid green. Oh, I remember 10-pound king crab, an average of 100 to a pot. fishing crab year round, think they'd never all be caught. I've been hung up, tore up, sewing net all night long, dragging the doors, chasing sole, prime fish, sold for a song. Remember watching the floater blow in the early morning's golden light? No matter the cares or worries, we knew everything in our world was right. Or jogging off the bar with no place in the world to go, trying to get home, though I couldn't get in, because that damned old bar was closed. Damn near broke a pole, dropped 6 spreads and a lead, but damn, we hit a clatter of kings that kept us out of the red. Yeah, I fished her up and down, both inside and out. It's been a damn good life. Money was never what it's all about. Guess I don't eat much from the net. I tend more to chops and steaks. But I'm a fisherman through and through, that make no mistake. Now there's people that want me gone. They want to buy me out. So they want to change my life. They haven't a clue what it's all about. But I know I just end up pining away and fishing. I'd pine away and wishing, because I might not miss the fish, but I damn sure miss the fishing.
We got Gino's, then we got Dave's, and then I came up with this to answer them. I think I read this first at the River Theater too. The fish and the fishing. Since I sold my permit, I sure been wishing for a way to figure out how to do without this fishing. Now, I could have tried drinking or packing up and leaving to ease the pain of thinking about missing every season. Or I could have turned to drugs to help me dull the pain. But I've been down that black road and don't want that again. No, it's sitting back and hearing about the fact I ain't alone that sets my eyes to tearing when Dave's at the microphone. It's the chills I get in the middle of a set when Gino has his say that pumps me up and turns my luck to face another day. But I puzzle and I wonder at their conflict of opinion. This disagree stirs the sea in me. Do I miss the fish or miss the fishing? I talked with Dave as we rode the waves and agreed I missed the fishing. But after a year with no fish here, 'twas the fish I found I was missing. So I chose to try old Gino's cry. Damn, I do miss the fish. I miss the sweet taste of salmon on Veronica's salty lips. But whoa there, mates, enough of that. No lusty poem while I pen here. It's both the fish and the fishing. Fellas, don't you know that's clear?
Do I miss the fish? The bright reds of June, so dearly bought with our sleep and good natures as we shed our winter comfort and soak our new selves in seawater and slime. Little eyes, big scales, no spots on the tail, always too small, never enough, starving us as we chase them. Do I miss the humpies? Humpies, whose most exciting feature is not their size, puny, their jump, wobbly, their scales, tiny, their stench, mighty, their price in turn, laughable and insulting. What is exciting about humpies is their sheer numbers of their biomass, a regular stampede. And surrounding that stampede, the Red River boats clog our sets to wait in line with us like folk who come to church on Easter and Christmas, while we have knelt here every Sunday, coaxing fish, learning snags. As for silvers, I mostly resent them. The way they were supposed to show up in late August and early September, put a little jingle in my pocket, but no matter how long we lingered, they never arrived, except on the deck of someone else's boat. And the phantom dogs who flirt with us activate the predator instinct in my sleep-deprived skipper. No matter how I tell him they're not worth the sleep or fuel, we are losing at 12 cents a pound. And when we finally rodeo them aboard, toothy monsters, watermarked, they are a mere handful. More broken promises. Kings, we were always missing kings. I have the phone number of a brisk tribal woman. I meet her in the parking lot at the Lloyd Center Mall in Portland. We arrange our meetings discreetly by text. I bring a cooler and ice. She brings fish and a luggage scale. Cash only, first come, first serve, all legal. I still get my fish. Do I miss salmon fishing? Locked into a life with young men, I have to school over and over while the boat, fish, and tides hold me by my scruff, shake out all my good manners and sense of humor. To catch not enough fish, oh, I might love a day trip, a week, but 4 months. While the ox in the main erode my hearing and my sanity, truth be told, I do not miss seining. I am at heart an artist, a writer. Life goes in, art comes out. I drink, I sift, I offer it up. The missing of things is my natural state. I miss the fisherman. I miss you, Chip O'Leary, who grabbed my underaged greenhorn self, fragile and sharp. My sister's crewmate, piece of her heart died with you of exposure in that raft. I miss the fishermen, Hoseas and Gary, and the others who slipped away in the black waters, the early morning Bering Sea. I miss Blake in the midnight sun who used to do the vacuuming for his wife when he was not skippering the crab boat. Of course we miss you, our beloved dead. I miss you, fishermen, taken by drink and drugs, and suicide and jail, even as I fear your return. I miss you as I hold you in my mind and heart in what Toby calls our golden youth. I miss the fisherman. And the fisherman I miss the most is the one closest to me. That loudmouth with the sharp tongue, who is not quite as wild as everyone thinks. Who is much, much wilder than anyone can imagine. The able seaman, strong and home. I miss the fisherman that is me. I pray for her triumphant return. May she be reborn, baptized in the blood of the multitudes of the aforementioned species. May that day come. Until then, I join my fellows here. Year by year, I step into my old boots and again wear my scales speckled mantle and accept this gift of myself from you. Until next year, I will miss you.